Hey guys, what's up? It's Scatter. Welcome to my BM Hunter PvE guide for the Burning Crusade Classic. In this guide, we'll go over some general information to help you get started so you can quickly hop into raids. Today, we're also doing a giveaway for another Corsair Scimitar gaming mouse. With the new expansion, you'll probably be needing new keybinds, so I want to give away something that will actually help you guys in-game. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is be a subscriber and tell me in the comments, are you enjoying TBC or do you prefer retail and why? I'll have a link in the description below to a best in slot list for hunters in phase 1. We will not be going over your best in slot pieces here in this video, since it would be very lengthy and would probably be easier just to read it from a website, especially since your best in slot pieces could change slightly depending on your raid composition and what buffs you have available to you. Lastly, I'll also have links in the description below so you can quickly navigate this video and macros as well if you'd like to copy and paste them. Alright, now let's go ahead and hop into the video. For the Alliance, your best races are mostly going to come down to personal preference, as they don't have a huge impact on your damage output. Night Elves provide a few niche racials, such as Shadow Meld, which can have its uses in World PvP, questing, and battlegrounds. They also have Wisp Spirit, which causes you to move faster when you're dead. But the reason why Night Elves are slightly stronger than the other races is because they have a higher base agility. Draenei have the racials Gift of the Naru and Heroic Presence. Gift of the Naru provides a small heal over time effect on the target, and Heroic Presence increases your party's hit chance by 1%. This could be strong, allowing you and your DPS to swap out pieces of hit gear for a more offensive stat, or it could be completely useless if you already have a Draenei in your party. I know that this is a PvE guide, but this is very quick and definitely worth mentioning. If you have any plans on pushing high rating in PvP arena, then Dwarf is going to be the best race for PvP. We'll talk more about why in my upcoming BM Hunter PvP guide for the Burning Crusade Classic. For the Horde, your best race for both PvE and PvP is going to be Orc. Orcs provide us with 3 very strong racials: Blood Fury, Command, and Hardiness. Blood Fury gives us an extra burst cooldown that will increase our attack power. Command will increase the damage done by our pets by 5%, and Hardiness will increase our chance to resist stun effects. If you don't want to go Orc, you do have the option of going Troll. Do note that they are significantly less powerful in PvP, and their racial Berserking, which increases your casting and attack speed, can be difficult to use as the casting and attack speed bonus that it provides you is increased when you are at lower health. And lastly, for your stat priority, the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you're hit capped. The amount of hit rating you need is going to vary depending on your raid composition and what buffs you have available to you. If there are no buffs available, then you will need 142 hit rating or 9%. If you have access to only Heroic Presence, then you will be needing 126 hit rating or 8%. And if you only have access to Improved Fairy Fire from a Balanced Druid, then you'll be needing 95 hit rating or 6%. If you have access to both Heroic Presence and Improved Fairy Fire, then you'll only be needing 79 hit rating or 5%. Here with hit rating, we can see the importance of raid composition and knowing what your team is going to be comprised of so that you can min-max your gear. If you have a set of gear that has 9% hit chance, but your team is able to provide you with Heroic Presence and Improved Fairy Fire, so that you only need a total of 5% hit chance, then you can trade that extra 4% of hit chance into other offensive stats to increase your damage output. After making sure that you're hit capped, your next best stat is going to be Haste. Haste will reduce the cast time of things like your Steady Shot and Multi-Shot, and also increase our range attack speed so that you have faster autos. After Haste, you'll want Agility. Agility increases your ranged attack power, your armor, and your critical strike chance. After that, you'll want Crit Rating, attack power, and armor penetration. Alright, before we hop into your talents, let's talk about what pet you should have for rating and how you should spend your pet training points. Your best pet for rating is going to be a Ravager. Ravagers have access to the Gore ability. This attack damages an enemy and has a 50% chance to deal double damage. You can find these in many places, but I'd recommend picking up one of the Rip Blade Ravagers in Blades Edge Mountain. These Ravagers come with a rank 3 dash and the highest rank of Gore, which is rank 9. For your pet training, you can find this pet training calculator on Wowhead, and I'll have a link to it in the description below. You're going to want to make sure that you have the following: a rank 9 Gore, a rank 9 Bite, rank 3 dash, rank 2 avoidance, Cobra reflexes, a rank 5 fire resistance, a rank 5 arcane resistance, and for the remaining points you can put them into either a rank 2 frost or shadow resistance. These are the recommended training points for the raid during phase 1. Let's go ahead and move on to your talents. This is going to be your highest damage output build with 41 points in Beast Mastery, 20 points in Marksmanship, and 0 points in Survival. We're not going to go over every talent as some of them are pretty straightforward, but we will talk about some of the more important ones. The first talent that we're going to look at is the Ferocious Inspiration talent. When your pet crits, all party members will get a buff that increases their damage by 3% for 10 seconds. What makes this even stronger is that it stacks with other hunters running the same talent. So for instance, if you have 3 hunters and they all have the buff up, you will be getting a 9% damage increase instead of the normal 3%. This is already insanely strong, and we'll take a look at more talents that have strong synergy with this one. Let's take a look at Ferocity and Frenzy. Ferocity increases the critical strike chance of your pet, and Frenzy gives your pet an attack speed increase once it lands a critical strike. More crit chance is good for our Ferocious Inspiration, and the increased attack speed means that our pet has more chances of getting a critical strike since it is attacking more often. The last talents that we'll look at are Serpent Swiftness and Go for the Throat. Serpent Swiftness increases our ranged attack speed and our pet's melee attack speed. Go for the Throat causes our ranged critical strikes to generate 50 focus for our pet. Not only is our pet attacking more often thanks to Serpent Swiftness, therefore giving it more chances to crit, but we are attacking more often as well, so we will also have more opportunities to land a crit. Since we are critting more often and generating more focus for our pet is basically able to spam Bite and Gore without becoming focus starved. For your rotation, you have a couple of different variations, and we'll explain them here. The first and most simple rotation is the 1-to-1 rotation. This means that for every steady shot, you will have one auto shot as well. Let's look at an example. If I keep auto shotting a target and use nothing else, it will look something like this. Your goal with the 1-to-1 rotation is to use a steady shot in between your auto shots as a filler, and to be sure that you don't clip your auto shots. This just means that you need to make sure that your auto shot actually goes off before you start casting steady shot. You can use an add-on that has a swing timer to help with this. With steady shot as your filler, your rotation will look something like this. Auto, steady, auto, steady. To maximize the damage of your rotation, you will want to cast multi-shot off cooldown in place of a steady shot. Lastly, you will want to use kill command immediately whenever it is available. In addition to the 1-to-1 rotation that we just talked about, you have the 1-to-2 rotation and the 1-to-3 rotation, where you have 2 or 3 autos and then 1 steady shot. This will depend on your haste rating. For more details, I'll have a link in the description below. For your AoE rotation, you'll simply follow your 1-to-1 rotation, making sure that you prioritize using your multi-shots off cooldown. For larger pools of 7 or more targets, you'll want to use Explosive Trap, and for extremely large pools of 10 or more targets, use Volley if both your Explosive Trap and multi-shot are on cooldown. Moving on to your opener, it will look something like this. Hunter's Mark if you are the designated hunter. If you have a survival hunter in the group, it might be them instead, as they have talents that buff Hunter's Mark. After casting Hunter's Mark, cast Misdirect on your tank. Then time your aim shot so that it lands when the pull timer hits 0. After this, you can cast Distracting Shot if you want to generate a high amount of threat for your tank, but this step is optional. Next, pop your burst cooldowns such as Bestial Wrath and Rapid Fire, and then continue with your 1-to-1, 1-to-2, or 1-to-3 rotation that we previously mentioned. Lastly, a few quick tips are that if you're needing to move, you can try to sneak in some autos depending on how much movement is required, and be sure to make use of your instant cast abilities such as Multi-Shot, Arcane Shot, and Serpent Sting. You will want to stay in Aspect of the Hawk for as long as possible, but if you find yourself running out of mana, then switch to Aspect of the Viper so that you can keep casting Steady Shot. Lastly, we're going to finish up by talking about some of the buffs, consumables, and gems that you'll be wanting. We won't talk about enchants, as I said earlier that I will include a link to your best in slot items list and a link in the description below. That will also tell you what enchants you'll be wanting as well. I think it'll be easier for you guys just to refer to that list and have everything in one place than to keep hopping back to this video. For your flask and elixirs, your best option is going to be the Flask of the Relentless Assault. This will give you a large amount of attack power for 2 hours, and it persists through death, which is great if you plan on progressing but are struggling. A good alternative would be Elixir of Major Agility and Elixir of Major Mage Blood. For your foods, you have 3 options: Spicy Hot Talbuk, Warp Burger, and the Grilled Mudfish. If you don't quite have the hit rating that you need, then the Spicy Hot Talbuk can provide you with some, and some spirit as well. The Warp Burger and the Grilled Mudfish both give us the same amount of agility and spirit, so just buy whichever one is cheaper. For scrolls and pet food, you have Kibler's Bits, Scroll of Agility 5, and Scroll of Strength 5. The Kibler's Bits will give your pet strength and spirit, and the scrolls can be applied to both yourself and your pet to give you both a boost in damage. Finishing up your consumables and buffs, your 2 best potions are going to be the Haste Potion and the Fel Mana Potion. The Haste Potion will simply provide you with a large haste boost for 15 seconds, and the Fel Mana Potion will give you a large amount of mana over 24 seconds. This can be great as it can allow you to stay in Aspect of the Hawk for as long as possible without having to worry about mana. Moving on to your gems. For your meta gem, your best option is the Relentless Earthstorm Diamond. If you don't have access to this gem for whatever reason, then the Swift Skyfire Diamond is a good alternative. For your red gems, you'll be wanting the Delicate Living Ruby. This will give you 8 agility and will be your go-to gem. For red and yellow gems, we still want to prioritize the Delicate Living Ruby that we just mentioned, but if we need to reach a certain hit rating or satisfy our meta gem requirements, then the Glinting Fire Opal and the Deadly Fire Opal are 2 gems that will work for both red or yellow sockets. Both gems give agility, but you'll want to use the Glinting Fire Opal for when you're needing hit rating. If you don't need any more hit rating, then use the Deadly Fire Opal. Lastly, for red and blue sockets, we have the Shifting Tanzanites. This gem is only really used to satisfy meta gem requirements or socket bonuses depending on how strong the bonus is. And that's going to wrap it up for our TBC BM Hunter PvE guide for Phase 1. Remember, to join the giveaway for the Corsair Scimitar, all you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment below. But that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.